Now let's think about this triangle. We're missing 2 out of 3 angles. We know that this is 90, but we don't know what the length of those are. But we can figure those out if we simply try to think in terms of what kind of triangle this is. If you notice, this side and that side are connected just like this side and that side. So it looks like we have a triangle that if this is x, this would be 2 times x, and this would be x times the square root of 3. Everything makes sense in that way. And if we say that, use that as our missing angle, in this case, let's call it alpha, just to have a different variable. So if we say that sine of alpha is equal to the opposite divided by the hypotenuse, 22, sine of alpha is going to be equal to 1/2. And anytime that happens, whenever we have sine of an angle being equal to 1/2, it means that the angle had to be 30 degrees. Why is that? Because this is a special right triangle. The special right triangle where this is x times the square root of 3, and 2x. And whenever we have that configuration, this is 60, and this is 30 degrees, and this one is 90. So that means the only meaning of this is that whenever the ratio between the opposite and the hypotenuse is 1 unit to 2 units, for every unit I have here, I have twice as many units here. It means that we came from a triangle that has a 30-degree angle here. So that is just the meaning of the ratios. If the relation is for every square root of 3 units I have on the adjacent, I have 2 units on the hypotenuse, I'm going to be having also a 30-degree triangle. Let's use that instead. Cosine of theta of alpha is equal to the adjacent 11 times the square root of 3 divided by the hypotenuse, in this case 22. So this and this is going to simplify to 1/2. So we have the square root of 3 over 2. So that means that the adjacent to hypotenuse ratio is the same as whenever we have a 30-degree angle. So if the ratio that you have between the opposite and the hypotenuse is 1/2, you're always going to be talking about a 30-degree right triangle. If the ratio between the adjacent and the hypotenuse is square root of 3 over 2, or it reduces to that, it is also a 30-degree right triangle, and making this a 60-degree right triangle.